Constantine, starring Keanu Reeves, hit theaters in 2005 and quickly gained a loyal fan base. Despite this, a sequel never really got off the ground until now. The film isn't your typical comic book flick. It dives into the supernatural, with Reeves playing a demon-fighting exorcist. It was one of the early adaptations that helped shape the genre and push it beyond just caped heroes. Though it has a dedicated following, there were parts of the story that could have been explored more, and both writer Akiva Goldsman and Keanu Reeves have expressed interest in revisiting the character. In a recent interview with Collider, Goldsman offered the first update on a possible sequel in a while, and things are looking more promising than ever. There's still a long way to go before it hits theaters, but it's good to know the character isn't being left behind, even after 20 years. In August 2024, Akiva Goldsman gave a small update on the long-awaited Constantine 2. The script is currently being worked on, and while there have been talks about continuing the story in different ways over the years, progress has been slow. At one point, a TV show was even considered. However, the big roadblock has been reacquiring the rights, which has delayed things from moving forward. Now, nearly 20 years after the original film, it looks like Keanu Reeves and Goldsman are ready to dive back into Constantine's world, with the sequel finally in the early stages of development. While details are still scarce, it's unclear whether the sequel will be rated R or what the story will be about. The team is keeping things under wraps for now, but they're working hard to get a script finalized and move the project along. At San Diego Comic-Con in August 2024, Akiva Goldsman confirmed that he's actively working on the script for Constantine 2, telling Collider, "I'm writing a script about Constantine 2. It's good. I hope to have a script for my partner soon." This was in response to a question about his current projects, and while the movie is still in its early stages, it's a clear sign that the sequel is officially in development. Goldsman is a well-known writer and producer with a full plate, so the fact that he's now working on Constantine 2 suggests that executives are seriously backing the project. While there's no release date yet and things could change, this is definitely a promising first step. That said, delays are always a possibility, and the project could face unexpected setbacks before it finally hits theaters. Right now, the script for Constantine 2 is being worked on, which is usually one of the first steps in making a movie. Since it's a sequel to a popular film and tied to the wider DCU as an Elseworlds project, there's a good chance this movie will get picked up quickly by the studios. Once the script is approved, the movie will move into the next phase, where a lot of things will happen at once. They'll need a director, location scouts will start looking for places to film, and casting will begin to find actors for key roles. Once everything's set, things can move fast, especially if the studios decide to invest resources to make sure the movie gets the attention it needs. Since it's part of the DCU Elseworlds, it makes sense that someone like James Gunn might take a look at the script and give feedback. Luckily, for Constantine 2, some of the original team is eager to return. Goldsman has said that the original director Francis Lawrence and Keanu Reeves are both excited to be involved in the next movie. Also, Peter Stormare, who played Lucifer in the first movie, has been talking to Reeves about coming back for the sequel. While nothing's official until the script is done, Reeves is fully on board to lead the film, and since he's such a big star now, the movie won't move forward without him. The sequel also has a great chance to introduce fresh talent and bring in new characters from the DC universe. John Constantine interacts with so many figures in that world, so there are endless possibilities for who could show up. Plus, with Reeves becoming even more of a star thanks to franchises like John Wick, the movie will probably be able to get some talented actors on board. As mentioned earlier, there's not much information about the plot yet, since it's still early in development, but if we look back at the first film, it gives us some clues about where the story could go. At the end of Constantine, Lucifer heals John and removes the cancer from his body before he can ascend to heaven. Lucifer does this out of spite because John tricked him into helping with his redemption, and now he hopes to drag John back to damnation. With this in mind, a sequel would likely follow John as he tries to stick to a strict code to avoid falling into Lucifer's hands again. To prove he's still worthy of heaven, makes sense that John would keep battling demons. The first movie also featured one of the earliest post-credit scenes in a superhero film, where John's friend Chaz comes back to life as an angel. This scene was clearly setting up a sequel, and while a lot of time has passed since then, it would be great if Constantine 2 could tie up those loose ends and provide some answers. In a recent interview with Comic Book, one of the main producers of Constantine 2, Lorenzo Di Bonaventura, shared an exciting update about the long-awaited sequel. He revealed that the script is finished, but he's a bit hesitant to read it just yet. He joked, "It's in my inbox right now. Funny enough, I'm too scared to read it though. I want it to be good so bad. I'll probably read it in the next few days when I get on an airplane." With the script seemingly done, it seems like production could be getting closer to finally starting, but it also makes sense that Warner Bros. Discovery and the creative team have been taking their time to get it right. There's a lot of pressure to make sure the sequel lives up to expectations, especially after all these years. Depending on how big the story is, they might also up the production value compared to the original. As for when the cameras will actually start rolling, that's still unclear since there's no release date yet. It's also possible that Constantine 2 has been taking a while because the team is figuring out how it fits into the new Elseworlds brand under DC Studios. With James Gunn's DC Universe being the main focus right now, it remains to be seen how Constantine 2 will fit into the bigger picture. Hopefully, we'll hear more soon. Another piece of most recent news about Constantine 2 came from Tilda Swinton, who played Gabriel in the first movie. Unfortunately, it wasn't the best news. When asked about returning for the sequel, Tilda said she hadn't heard from anyone involved in the project and doesn't expect to reprise her role. She mentioned, "I'm sorry to have to tell you that I know nothing about this sequel except that I've heard it's happening. Unless they're very late in calling me, I don't think Gabriel will be flapping his or her wings." She even heard a rumor that Keanu Reeves might be playing Gabriel instead, which she thought would be beautiful if it were true. As for Constantine 2 itself, it's part of DC's Elseworlds line, meaning it won't tie into James Gunn's new DC universe. Gunn has mentioned that Elseworlds projects need to meet a pretty high bar to get the green light, so a lot is riding on the script being strong. It sounds like the script has been going through some changes, with Gunn admitting the process went from no to maybe to kinda yes, before they're now waiting on the script to move forward. Hopefully the next updates will clear things up a bit more. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.